She's going to present the topic on digital initiatives and method for teaching engineering courses. Um, I mean, she's presently working as a HOD in IT department. She's a Sai Institute of Technology. She has completed her. She has been working in. She has having a teaching experience more than 20 years. 20 years, and she has published a lot of publication in the area of information technology, and she got her doctorate in the year 2017 through Anna University in information technology, and ME system engineering. And I welcome ma'am to present this. We are very much it's an immense pleasure in inviting you for this particular gathering for online AICT IST program. And please kindly take over your this thing, ma'am. Thank you for your invitation. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your great introduction.
Thank you, ma'am.
Myself, let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Brinda, HOD of IT department, working with the Sai Ram Institute of Technology for the past 10 years. Today's class, we will be this seminar, we will be discussing about what are the different type of digital initiatives and methodologies which we can adapt. As you all know that we right now during this COVID-19 situation, we have been forced into this type of digital techniques. As faculty, we should be able to know what is the ups and downs of each and every digital techniques that are currently available, how you can utilize these methodologies or these tools in order to make the education to move forward. Thank you so much. And let me share the screen. Yeah, is my screen is visible?
It's visible, ma'am.
Okay, so today we will be learning about what are the digital initiatives and methods we can adapt in engineering, mainly in engineering. The basic thing we people are going to learn about what is actually digital learning. How many type of learners are available, then why we people are going for this digital transformation, what is the need for digital transformation, and what are the different methodologies of online teaching and learning strategies, how will you integrate the pedagogy tools with the current digital tools that are available, how to engage the students, what are the methods that are available. Okay, so these things we will be learning today. Now, let me start with the introduction. See, the main objective of each and every faculty member is to deliver a lively online session. See, why we people are going for this lively session is in order to understand the learner, what they are how they are interested in, what criteria they are very much interested, how to make the particular concept to be known better, how to make the students to understand better, what type of digital techniques we can employ. Okay, the statistics shows that there are around 687 million of internet users are available. See, the number of mobile internet users are around 629 million users, out of which 33% are female internet users. The type of digital learning which we people are adapting is only to this 687 million of users. Another statistic shows that India is going to be the second largest after China, which is going to make use of this mobile or digital techniques. See, if we have seen in the past, that is from last year, from March 2009 to this December 2019, a survey says the number of Coursera users is around 287 millions have used Coursera as a learning platform. edX is being widely used by 19.2 million, and Future Learn, this is one more platform which people are using, is around 6% of the population. As you all know, that SPIAM is one more portal which is being run by MHRD with the AICTE, which is being widely used by 3.2 million. That is around 27% of the entire population. Okay. Let us start with the today's thing. As I have already told, we have to first understand the type of learners. See under which combination of learning style a student possesses, that should be identified. Okay, all students will be having a different line of style of learning. See, based upon the style of learning, if the student is able to identify which category he belongs, then only it is possible for him to remember the things they have learned. Generally, we can classify. This is being these styles are based on the network of John Davy in the year 2002. As you all know that we do have right and left brain dominance. The right brain will be having two things. One is called learn by seeking meaning. See, this type of people should know the correct exact meaning in their own mother language, or they have to understood what actually is happening. Then only they can move forward. The one more type of learner is they will think through ideas. They should have, we have to explain these set of students with more number of examples, real-time examples. Then only it is possible for them to map the original concept into this. The left part of particular users will be like learn by trial and error, or they will be working. They will be trying to identify the hidden possibilities. They will be analyzing more. The next part is the other type of users is they will be going for learn by testing theories. What is actually happening, see what are the things they will be having a detailed study, then only it is possible for them to move forward. Okay, so the format system will help the learners to integrate knowledge and skills. They help you to experiment and solve problems. See, this will make them to reflect on the solutions what they have learned. We can, in other parts, we can say these students will be able to implement the concept what they have learned already. So generally, people are having 10 learning. We can categorize 10 learning styles. The very first one is called kinesthetic learners. These are most hands-on learning type of person who learns to tangible ways. They want to do their own, whatever work. They will be studying by themselves. These type of students doesn't require anyone to guide or anyone to make them to learn. They will start learning by themselves. The second type of learners are called read-write learners. These people are very comfortable with the written words. Then you have to provide written materials to the students. Then only it is possible for them to get the points. Okay, they are called as read or write learners. These students will take notes either in the class or they are in need of notes to be given. The third type is called visual or spatial learners. See, these students doesn't require any theoretical. They cannot learn. You have to explain these students with more diagrammatic presentation, more chart oriented, more mind mapping. They can understand the concept only by drawings, pictorial. Okay. The fourth one is auditory learners. See, they will listen. These students are very keen in listening. They will be listening the classes. Okay, they will understand what the teacher is going to say. Through that, they will start learning. Okay, this type of students requires teaching. The fifth is natural learners. Okay, see, they are adaptable. They are called as all-rounder of learning. They can adapt any methodology. They can go for read, write. They may be a part of read, write learner. They may be a spatial learner. A part may be of auditory learners. They will gather information from all type, and they will be learning. Their learning style will be very good. Linguistic learners are nothing but different textbooks. They will try to gather information from different people. Okay, their best learning method include reading textbook. Interpersonal learners, these learners will refine the information. These people will try to work in groups or teams. We will say that some set of students can get through by having a group study. So they are called as interpersonal learners. They will grasp the information from somebody. They cannot be left alone. They cannot do their work by themselves. They will depend on others. Intrapersonal learners is they will study only when they are alone. They cannot be a part of your team. They may not be able to get the points when we are going to communicate within your group. Okay, they will be sitting idle and they need a calm space. Okay, where it is very quiet. Then only it is possible for these students to get through. The ninth type is called logical or mathematical learners. These learners will be having some pattern of learning. Okay, in order to remember, they will follow some pattern. But they will be very much skillful in analytical paper rather than theoretical paper. They will what to say, they will be able to classify or categorize these things. Okay, they have to go for some methodology in order to remember the things. The last one is called musical or rhythmic learners. Okay, see, they need some background noise. They cannot sit in a calm place. They will be the best method for them is to learn in a loud in a place where it is very loud. They will be learning whenever your music is going on, whenever there is a rhythm. So such type of listener are available. First, when we are going to deliver, you have to understand the type of learner. The student should identify which type of learning style he is going to adapt. If the learning style of one particular thing fails, means you should be able to adapt to the next type of learning style. So generally we have to educate the students. Each and every paper we have to adapt a different type of learning style. For example, if it is a mathematical paper, means you should compulsory go for logical or mathematical learning type. If it is very theoretical and if it is a very difficult paper, if the paper contains more number of points, means you should go for adapting either visual learners or auditorial learners, or he can adapt interpersonal learners. This is the very first thing which we have to educate the students, what type of learning style he or she should adapt in learning a paper. And also you should ask the student which learning style he is able to adapt. He is very preferable. Okay, then generally there are, as you all know, that the left brain will be performing more when comparing with the right. Okay, usually we will be having like this, one side of the brain will dominate the other. If you are going for left brain, the left brain is very analytical, it will be thought detail, it will be sequential, and it will be generating caution, and it is having logical right side motor. All your mathematical, if the student is very much strong in mathematical or scientific, means the left brain is working more when comparing with the right brain. If suppose if a particular person is very creative, he is having very creative and is very good in art, his imagination is very good, and he is having different emotional thought, means his right brain is working more when comparing with the others. Okay, so this is about the very thing, what are the different type of learners, learning styles that we people are having. Once we have understood, then we will go for digital transformation. Why we want to adapt a digital transformation? So what is actually digital transformation? Digital transformation is nothing but an integration of digital technology in all areas of business, whether it may be in educational sector, or whether it may be in an organization, whether it may be in case of mass production, whether it may be in e-commerce. We people are going to adapt digital technologies. Using these digital technologies, it is possible for us to create a new or modify existing processes, culture, operational experience based upon dynamic business or market needs. Okay, see, this particular thing is necessary, essential when we are going to operate and deliver value to customers. Why we people are going for digital transformation? See, this digital transformation will avoid the gap between the end user and the system. It help you to more interactive. It will increase your collaborative, and it will increase the style of personalized learning. Why digital transformation is mainly to educate us. What is the purpose? See, actually, the traditional methodology of adapting is moving on. See, we people have been using about conventional method like chalk and board. See, that should be evolved. We should move on to the very next generation. We can go for making the student to be very imagination. For example, suppose when we want to describe describe a solar system to a particular students, right now we people can go for adapting augmented reality or virtual reality. A student is going to imagine that earth is going to revolve around the sun. See, in case of virtual reality, if we are going to tell the student about the solar system, he can imaginatively, he can see the particular thing. Such type of technologies is being emerging. So this will increase the creativeness of a particular creative thought of your student. See, this digital transformation will positively provide an impact for student learning. See, what might be the possibilities that are available in the world, how the student can emerge with a different type of solutions. Okay, although we people are going to talk about digital transformation for the past 5 years, this COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted education worldwide. We have started with an emergency to go for remote teaching and learning. We have trained the faculty members to make use of digital technologies or digitalized tools. Why it is having some problem is the content should be of very good quality. You have to prepare the content. You have to we should have a software that analyze the student performance. You have to get the feedback from the student. Based on the feedback from the student, you have to evolve and you have to change everything. Okay, some of the primary goals of your digital transformation in higher education we people are adapting is we want to improve the student metrics. We want to improve the student metrics. We want to increase the retention rate. We want to make the student to complete the courses within the period of time. We want to, as a teacher, we want to provide more excellence in teaching. We want to improve ourselves in communication. We want to store all the information in administration, all type of thing using an UOMS. We want to compete with the other people. What is happening around the world may be known to the student only through this digital. We want to go for decision making. For all these things, we will be going for digital transformation. What are the challenges you will be facing when we people are going for digital transformation? Is we have a lack of expertise. The budget which we people are going to spend towards this teaching will be very limited. You have to make use of some type of tool in order to implement. The security for your data will be very minimal, and you have to understand the organizational strategy what you people are going to adapt. So generally, when we people will be pushed to digital transformation is operation priority. Right now, we have implemented admission in student admission system. We have paid us digitally. Then we have made registration for getting admitted as through digitally. Then right now, this COVID-19 pandemic made ourselves to conduct the examination through digitally. And we people are going to maintain a course plan where we cannot communicate through phone. We need a common platform where we can share the course plan among your colleagues. Then the framing of syllabus, the employment, application, career registration. For these and all, we have gone for digital transformation. Service priorities are related to educational missions of university. See, whenever I want to create a new program, if you have gone for older versions of the program that is not available, it is written in the form of book. The books and all has become outdated. Okay, whenever we want to aim to create new program, we want to digitize the world old programs into a common place. Whenever there is a vanishing of face-to-face education, whenever we want to implement blended education, that is hybrid, it may be online classes, online education system. When you want to adapt, we will go for digital transformation. Okay, see, for all these things we need. See, what type of transition models you have to implement when I want to implement the digital transformation. These may be of uniform, or it may be of customized one. You can have acquire or passive learning. Then we can go for intensive learning to learning focused. So these are some of the models that are available. See, next thing we will go for online teaching and learning strategies that we people are following. See, we have gone to those traditional days where teacher will be explaining using the blackboard, and he will be having written notes in his hand. Okay, right now what we people are doing is we people are sitting in front of a camera, and the students are being handled remotely. See, they are very comfort being at home. See, this COVID pandemic situation pushed each one of us to go for this. See, for taking a class through digitally, the teachers should upgrade their technical knowledge, how to make use of the particular tool, how to create a content, what and all is required in order to make the student to understand your concept very clearly. Okay, the faculties has to put overall effort in making their in making their online classes to move to the very next level. See, you can categorize the effort. See, the planning of the class will be taking around 60% of your work time, and 15% you have to adapt what type of technology you are going to follow. See, under which architecture you are going to explain. For example, we people are adapting Google Classroom, right? We people have created, we people are getting connected through Google Meet. This will be this master technology will cover 15%, and the 10% is under what environment you are going to do. Then we will be spending 10% for performing the mock circuit, and the remaining 5% you have to identify how people are going to discuss, what type of discussion you can perform with your students, whether they are understanding or not. You have to innovate the type of discussion which you people are going to employ with your students. Okay, so this is about this. See, one type of model called as a flipped classroom model. What do you mean by flipped classroom model? See, the name may not be known, but everyone, we people will be following. See, what do you mean by flipped classroom model is we people will be giving one independent case study, or else let us assume that we will be asking them to see a video in the previous class. We can discuss the same thing in the very next class. Okay, okay, where we can the student might be asked to watch the pre-record videos, or you can give an article before the class. During the class we can discuss with the students what and all they have learned, what they understood, what they have inferred from the video, and what type of solutions they can do it. This can be given as assessment or homework through this. So this is called a flipped classroom experience. This will be having, for implementing this, you should know something called as WordPress. So to create, you have to create a website. See, there are a lot of hosting sites that are available. For example, we have GoDaddy.com, boxmode.com, wordpress.com. If you are going to move or see into it, it is possible for each and every faculty to create a content management system where you can manage your content. Each and everyone can have manage their own content and keep it inside. See, this particular tool will help you to build a website like Google Docs, MS Word, OpenOffice, LibreOffice, these everything. You can move from one page to another page dynamically. The users can have minimum knowledge of HTML, PHP, or JavaScript. It may require, for something to make use of WordPress, it doesn't require any knowledge regarding how it is actually happening. See, the WordPress.com is free for everybody, whereas WordPress.org it is having more customized one, and you have to pay money. These do not require very less. See, the overall 28% of your population of internet users are using WordPress. The very next tool is nothing but mind map. The students who will remember the points either through pictorial or diagrammatical. The students who are not able to remember the points, you can adapt this type of mind mapping exercises. We can say that mind mapping is nothing but a powerful note taking tool. See, we can map all the key information into one thing, okay, into a single holistic form. It is possible for you to identify and understand the structure, what I'm going to deliver, what and all I'm going to deliver. These everything can be written into a single page diagram. Some students may be identifying these things. If your right brain is working more, means if the student is having more creativity, and he is very interested in art form, you can motivate your students to go for mind mapping. See, this particular mind mapping will help the student to remember the points very easily, and this remembrance will be present deep in the subconscious mind. Let us give me one example. For example, let us assume this is going to be an architecture. Okay, you have to specify the name of the architecture. See, what is the advantage of this architecture, or you can draw this as a diagram. Why we people are going for learning this architecture? Okay, what might be the benefits of this architecture, whether it is simple, fast, or whatever it may be. See how to implement the architecture, he can understand. See what might be the output of the architecture. You can easily convert each and every question into this particular form. This is one type of activity which you can give to students. See, you can also implement this mind map using digital transformation. So if you want to implement the mind map in through digitally, means you have to use the following things. The remembrance cannot be a long sentences. It should be in the form of a single words. Words are simple phrases. You can print words. Okay, you can go for using different colors in order to bring out the different ideas. You can also use different symbols and images. You can also go for cross linkages. Okay, so this is one important thing. Then the very next thing was see, you please always remember that learning is something that does not stop till our life ends. We people as a teacher, we will be learning. Why we are saying that teacher is always young? See, we people used to learn with a different set of students, different minds. Okay, so we should be able to handle. Most schools and colleges will be having a different type of tool to handle their student. For example, some schools will be adapting Zoom, some schools will be adapting Google Classroom, some school, for example, we people are adapting Google Classroom. Earlier to the Google Classroom, we will be using Zoom. We have to identify that environment. We have to be very familiar with the environment. The work environment will have a great impact. So it will improve the seriousness and it will bring out the confidence. For example, I should be very familiar with the Zoom. I should be very much familiar with the Google Meet, how to take attendance with Google Meet, how to import a particular enable tool within Google Meet. See how to present your screen, how to allow a student inside the session, how to lock the session. These everything I should be very familiar. You, in order to familiar yourself, you have to conduct mock sessions. You have to see, as we have known earlier, we have been practiced to conduct mock sessions, whether you remember or not. We have been conducting different seminars. Your HODs will be conducting different type of seminar through the Zoom. We know right now who is how to change the post. See, what are the functionality a host can do in case of Zoom meeting? What are the type of functionality a co-host can do? What type of things other participants can do? See how to enable chat window, how to disable the chat window. So these are all the mock sessions. Okay, we have to practice. See, how will you practice? We have to conduct with peer group facilities, different type of presentation style. We have to expertise before moving to your students. Okay, you have to innovate discussions, how to encourage the students to discuss with you, how to make them to make use of the chat. See, suppose I'm going to handle the class to digitally, it doesn't mean that one end should talk, the other end should be very interactive. What are the different type of methodologies you can adapt to interact with your students? That type of innovative discussions are the methods you are going to adapt, that should be identified. Then the learning strategy. Here we will be talking about only two different kind of learners. See how to handle the students better in online, how to make them to interact with the faculty. Okay, these two people, that is kinesthetic learner and interpersonal learners, we have to discuss. That's why we people are showing different type of videos. We are discussing a different type of real life example. The lecture should not be very broad, it should be very minimal. You have to provide more tips to the students. They should be able to understand your concepts very clearly. Okay, the other one is interpersonal learners. We have to work through social media. And this is possible only when we are going to communicate through phone calls. We have to identify a group of students to work together. Virtual group study, we have to facilitate. Okay, so this is about digital transformation and these things. The very next thing, these and all you know already, but anyhow I'll summarize. What are the pedagogical tools that are available? As you all know that Microsoft MS PowerPoint is one type of pedagogy tool. PowerPoint where we can present your content. One more thing, see, everyone who's using a presentation tool, that is everyone will be using Microsoft PowerPoint. I want to be very different. The content where I'm going to produce to my students should be very much different from the other faculty. See, what can we do? Let us taste one more type of tool called as Prezi. See, this is one type of web-based application that will help the users to create and edit active presentation. You see, a particular part of this presentation, Prezi presentation, is available for free. But when we want to go for more things to be implemented in your presentation, means you should go for subscribing, or you should go for annual package. And this is one type of new kind of visualization and opportunity which will link your imaginary into motion. You can implement all your animation things into your slides. It will also provide zooming facilities where the user can view minute details. Okay, the students can see a very bigger picture in the presentation. It will help them to display their mood. Okay, it will be helping, it will be moving from freely from one to the other. See, what are the some similarities between Prezi and PowerPoint is all students and professionals, all kind of people can make use of Prezi. Both the two things are having video, text, charts, everything is available. You can also go for animation text in both. Both can be a thing. Available, but the only important thing is the presentation will be very much livelier in case of Prezi when comparing with the other. How to download Prezi? Suppose I want to make use of Prezi. See what you can do. You can log in into the site called as prezi.com. you go for installing. Okay, any type of user can make use of it. So the if suppose exclusive plan for users, students, okay, the individuals can go for $3 per month. It will be around $1.3 is it will be around 200 rupees per month. Okay, to a month means it will be vary. So how to create a presentation? You can go for creating a template. See, more number of templates will be available. That's very, 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 very important. Each and every template will be extraordinary in case of Prezi. It will be like lovely. What to say? It will be very. Your presentation will speak. Usually when you go for PowerPoint, the words or the content what is available in the presentation will speak. Whereas in case of Prezi, by seeing the slide itself, it will give you an idea what you are going to actually discuss. You can choose from the template. You can start. Okay, you can try what might be the things. You can also define mind map. Mind map can be easily implemented. You can go for defining subtasks. You can use your own style. Okay, you can also go for inserting text, images, videos. Everything can be implemented. You can also share your presentation with others, just like our Google presentation. We can also do it. There are a lot of advantage when the people are going to use Prezi as the presentation tool. The very important thing is it is a cloud-based software. See, where all your presentation can be stored in the cloud. You can open anywhere in any system. Okay, it is helpful in zooming feature, whether you can expand or you can simplify it. The templates are aesthetic. That is very, very important, which I like. It can be used to create non-linear or conventional presentation. You can convert into Word. You can convert into PDF. Okay, immediately. It will allows user to create presentation with better integration with the multimedia, audio, videos, and images. It is possible. Yeah, speaker can embed their discussing the particular topic can be easily incorporated with your presentation. The Prezi is web-based, you can access in any platform. You see whether MS Word will be working with the Windows, whereas Prezi doesn't require anything. Okay, so this is one thing. The other important thing is video conferencing. The very next thing, we have finally created a platform where you can write your content, and the second thing we will be talking about where we are going to conduct the online meetings. Whether it is being conducted using laptop or mobile devices with embedded web cameras. How the video conferencing is going to take place. Generally, we can say video conferencing where we will interact. There are 7 tools for virtual meetings which we people are going to conduct, which we people are using. One is Cisco WebEx. The second one is we can make use of Zoom meeting. You can go for GoToMeeting. We can go for Microsoft Teams. You can also conduct your video conferencing through Google Hangout. We can also conduct through Ring Central, and we can also conduct your meeting through Skype. I won't see these things. Virtual meeting, the mode of conducting the virtual meeting is known to everybody. Yes, am I audible? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. You're audible.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
You can conduct the meetings through these tools. The very first is WebEx. See, I'll discuss only those tools which we are not using. Okay, which is not that much. The WebEx. The WebEx is collaborate with effectively with your employees, with your customers. It is possible for you to integrate your voice, video. It is possible for you to share your content. See, what are the main important key features that are available in your WebEx is nothing but you can share your application, you can share your document, you can have a personal room, you can make a particular audience as an active speaker, you can invoke chat, you can invoke polling immediately. We can have you will be provided with the different type of storing your meeting, that is you will be provided with recording, you will be provided with the editing, and you will be having a playback meetings. Okay, you will be provided with the, you can name your meeting, personal my personal name. Okay, you can host pin. See, in order to implement security, you can host your pin. You can automatically lock your meeting. That is when your meeting is going to start shortly, how much time you can the participant can join your meeting. Then you can also notify the people who are available outside your room. We can say that one is a lobby. You can also provide rights to other alternative hosts. Some of the things that is possible in case of audio and video is what type of connection you can use to be get connected, whether it is audio via phone or computer, voice over internet protocol, whether it should be notified to the speaker, that is entry and exit tone. It is possible for you to call the particular organizer. You can also go for making use as a personal conference. You can also schedule the particular join before the host. You can schedule your meeting in your calendar. Okay, it will automatically help you to get connected. You can also have your email reminder. You can take attendance. You can share your recording. You can also verify the type of users, whether the user are going to use the organization mail ID to be get connected. You can also provide permission. The WebEx will permit the user to move away. See, these all these type of features are available. Okay, see, whereas in case of Google Meet, you have to implement your Google Meet attendance, so should be implemented. Whereas WebEx, it is having a WebEx attendance report is available. You can see it. And also you can also see how much you have used this WebEx meeting. You can download your usage report, how much hours you have used, which day you have used, what are the different type of meetings you have conducted. These everything is possible in case of WebEx. Zoom is this is another type of virtual connecting tool. It provides the same feature as earlier. You can schedule your meeting. You can invite the users through the Zoom invite. You can also manage the attendees to enter, whether automatically they can enter or someone manually should approve the attendees to enter. These things will be available. You can also go for recurring meeting, whether prior registration is required or you can also initiate it. You can also customize your meeting. There are other options. The same set is available. You can enable join before the host. You can mute whenever I'm going to enter. You can mute your audio as well as video whenever I'm entering the meeting. So you can also send the invite, as I already told. You can disable your a participant to screen share. Okay. You can also implement annotation, that is they can scribble. See, this type of thing is available. You can disable the attendee annotation. You can also implement a whiteboard. So these everything are available. The one more next type of tool is nothing but GoToMeeting. Okay. It is something very similar. Then the very last one, which is being supported by Microsoft, is nothing but Microsoft Teams. In case of Mac, you can make use of Microsoft Teams. This is available. It is free of use. You can go for sign in with the Microsoft account, and you can easily initiate a particular conference. You can reply to the particular conference. Everything will be one and the same. The thing in case of Microsoft participant is the user information. The participant who are not listening will not be known to the other participant. Names will be visible. The other some specific features is not available, and it is very secured when comparing with the others. Okay, the remaining is one and the same. You can also initiate your group chat among yourself. That is possible. You can make a particular user to pin the particular user to come to screen and explore their particular things. That is possible. Then this is another is Google Hangout. The very new is Ring Central. This is one more important thing. This can be used for a desktop, or you can use as Outlook plugin. Okay. Ring Central. Okay, this is a need of one particular thing. The main important feature is you can either mute or unmute, or you can set up audio. You can start or stop your video. You can invite your people to join the meeting either via email or SMS. You can view the participant. You can view. You can record the current meeting. Screen sharing is available. All methodologies are available. We one and the same. Okay. So let us complete the session with the final wording. See, what are the different methodologies you can adapt in order to engage your students? The main, as a teacher, we have to increase the involvement of your students in academic activity. We have to make them to listen better in classroom. You have to advise the student to achieve higher mark. You have to make them to be more expressive with positive emotion towards learning. In order to make all these things to come into a picture, we can go for implementing different type of gamification, different type of techniques. See, how will you encourage your students? You can encourage your students by providing points. You can provide badges where they are evolving. You can have a leaderboard. You can show the students about their progression. You can give them certificates. You can reward them with the game coins. See, this is like reinforcement learning. If I'm going to do something right, I should be immediately rewarded. If I'm going to if I'm wrong, I should be corrected. Okay, then I have to go for enter into the same competition and to be rewarded. Okay, you can have a story. You can have a countdown or timer. Suppose a student is not submitting an assignment, means you can generate a timer. See, you can intimate the students. You can have avatars. You can make use of gamifications. You can go, okay, we can give them daily, weekly challenges. Okay, these are some type of engagement strategies which we people are adapting. Some of the major things that is being applied by different missions is like Starbucks. Okay. One is Starbucks. Then we will be having one important cloud computing platform called as Salesforce. The learning of Salesforce is like fun-based learning. Okay, they will be learning only through visual. visual. We will not have any theoretical things to be learned. They will be working by seeing everything, and they will be completing the course. That is one thing which is being adapted widely. So these are all gamification. Then we can go for microcasting. Use of YouTube. Okay, you can deliver your video in YouTube. You can make them to learn, and you can make them to see, such type of things will go for guided doubt clarification, facts. Okay, you have to spend more amount of time to humor with your students. It will help you to be more interactive. This will help them to be more humor senses. We should not be very offensive when a particular student is going to humor on us. Okay, we can have like collaborative learning. This is a next very important thing. You can encourage your student think, pair, share. We can go for implementing augmented reality. See, for implementing augmented reality, your internet connection should be very good. You should have a proper mobile device. You should be having AR application should be available. We have to tailor our education. The concept should be tailored to AR. We should have more images, objects, locations. Everything should be will be done. Okay, so these are some of the things. How will you evaluate? What is the different type of evaluation methodologies when we people are going for a digital transformation? As you all know, everything should be evaluated. Okay, this can be done either by giving assignments, you can conduct a quiz, or you can immediately go for poll. You can conduct exams, you can give case studies, you can ask them to submit a paper on the particular case study, you can ask them to give a presentation. Okay, for implementing these everything, we need a basic requirement. You need a web camera, we need a laptop built in with the microphone, we need a web camera. So these are some of the major things. We need a headset. You should identify the type of tool which you are going to connect. We need a tool where you are going to think everything. Are you very clear? So this is about the session. Yes, any feedback from the participants? Yes.
Okay, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. I think any feedback from the participant side?
Yes, sir. Any
I-
feedback? See, I'm very
Oh.
grateful for providing me an opportunity in discussing you with the digital initiative and the methods which we people are adapting. I think this forum will help you to be very helpful in creating your content and delivering to the students. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your nice presentation and motivation of the digital innovatives and methods and tools, latest tools to be used. And we got a very good experience from your side. And we will also implement on these particular aspects and in future. And thank you very much for your kind presentation. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So I will be posting the link now, the next link also. Please take this link and you fill it up.